Hello, welcome to part 2 of our pond update. We're just talking about some of the wildlife we found in the pond today, so do stay tuned. Hello, welcome to John Horsey Horticulture. John's been teaching horticulture professionally for over 30 years now, and on this channel we're hoping to help you develop your gardening skills, whether you're new to gardening, looking for some propagation techniques, how to grow some vegetables, some pest control perhaps, or whether you're a seasoned horty who could always use some new advice and tips. If you like learning those things, do consider following us. There's no charge, just push the subscribe button. If you push the all-important notification bell, that just lets you know every time we upload a new video.
Morning everybody. Do you remember yesterday we were looking at the pond and I said we got a lot of Palmate newts? I wanted really to show you some, but they tend to be very, very nocturnal and we couldn't see any yesterday. Sometimes they'll come up and sunbathe, but generally you have to go out at night. So last night I went out and I found some newts for you so you can see exactly what they're like. And let's start off with a female. They're not very big. That's about the right size for a Palmate newt. It's a sort of brownish colour. Underneath she's much more lighter, but you can see she's actually not got a spotted throat. That means she's definitely a Palmate newt. If she had a spotted throat she could be a smooth newt, but she's not. She's a Palmate. She's quite, how long would she be? Well, almost 2 inches I suppose, maybe 2.5 inches, not very long. She's definitely a female because she's quite swollen up. She's full of eggs. She would be at this time of the year, and she's just got a small cloaca. That's the vent at the back there. And what she'll do later on, when she's been mated, she'll lay her eggs individually on the plants, and once the egg's been laid, she uses her back legs. She pulls it round and she folds the vegetation onto the egg, and that's how it's hidden. It's individual eggs and they're white. They're very different from your conventional Frogspawn and Toadspawn, of course. So that's the female. And the male, you see he's got lovely markings on his head, on the side of his body, and the reason he's called a Palmate newt is because his back legs are palmated. Can you see the black webbing on his back legs? I think you see it there, look, quite clearly. Lovely markings on his tail as well. And the other thing about them is they have that little sort of cut off bit at the end of the tail. It's as though someone's chopped it off and it's tried to regrow again, but those are the characteristics of a Palmate newt. We know he's male, he's more square, he's not got so many eggs, and of course he's got his quite enlarged testes, which I suppose you'd expect at this time of the year, which produce the sperm. There's his underneath. He's quite nice, isn't he? I think he's probably had enough of me, so I'll put him back in the pot. As I said, they lay individual eggs. All newts do that. We've only got Palmate newts here. I'd like to have smooth newts. Smooth newts are a little larger. The females are very difficult to tell apart, but the females tend to have spots. That's why see there are spots underneath these. The males are about 1 inch longer, and they've got distinct crests. And the other one, of course, we have is the great Crested newt, which is quite a bit bigger, up to 5-6 inches long, and a very jagged crest, very stunning black and yellow animal, and of course now protected by law. But hopefully they might turn up in my pond one day. Very different, of course. The eggs, say, individually laid. The frogs, as you know, is laid in conventional spawn, and the toads lay it in strings. But before I put these back, I've got a few other interesting things you might be interested to see. When I went out with the net, I inadvertently picked up a couple of Ramshorn snails. Now, they are the best sort of snails to have in your pond because they feed on detritus. They're not going to eat the pond plants like the whelks do. So if you do put snails in, make sure that they're the Ramshorn, that these rounded ones, literally like a Ramshorn, I suppose. I thought I saw somewhere a Dragonfly larvae. That's the larvae of a dragonfly, and I think that's an Ishna. And when that fully develops, it'll climb up the stem of an iris. Usually they prefer irises. It'll climb up the iris stem, and then it splits down the back, and the complete dragonfly comes out of a nymph like that. But the nymph will be almost 3 times that size before it's ready. It's early in the year yet. But they've got, he's stopped now, you can see what he's like, but underneath his jaw flicks out. It's got like a spring, and it pushes that one out to catch its prey, which really is almost anything it can manage in the pond. tadpole's probably one of its commonest prey, but you also get them. I've actually seen them feeding on newts. Actually.
Well, thanks ever so much for watching. We do hope you enjoyed that. Just a little pond update for you. If you like that and would like to follow us, do push the subscribe button. There's no charge. Ding the all-important notification bell. That lets you know every time we upload a new video. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week. Until next time.